Hello, hi everyone. My name is Rudney Novaes. I am a wedding photographer. I'm based in Washington, D.C. And today I'm here to talk a little bit how do I use Dubsado. And I just want to thank you so much, Becca, for having me. This is an honor and a pleasure. And I'm going to share with you, let me work on this. Perfect, much better this way. So this is my website, brand new website. I just launched last week. I'm very excited about it. And I have a little presentation. I thought that I would work with the video, but I don't think I can do a full screen, but I think you guys can see like that. So the way it's gonna work, I am going to talk a little bit about how, that's the topic of the webinar, but how do I use Dubsado as a wedding photographer? But much more than talk about the technicalities of it, I'm just going to talk about my experience and the most practical and useful tools that I have and that I use from Dubsado, and I implement that into my business. So let's get this started. As I said, my name is Rudney, and I'm a Washington, D.C. wedding photographer. I'm from Brazil, and just a little bit about me so you get to know me if you don't know me. I started my photography journey in college as a fashion photographer, and I come from a very small beach island town in Brazil, and there was a lot of like fashion studies going on, and people were like opening their new business, a small business, and that's how I got it started. And curiosity, I speak 4 languages. I have 3 kids, 3 boys, and I think I want more children. People think I'm crazy, but I don't know, just love them. I have a passion for traveling. I lived in 7 different countries, including Mozambique, Africa, which is one of the most amazing places that I've been in. And for me, Biscoff, it's heaven. Who doesn't like it? So anyway, let's get into the good things. So why Dubsado? I think it's important to say why do I chose to use Dubsado. I think that's like the 3 main things for me. And I think the number one thing, it's the workflow automation. I'm assuming that a lot of you guys out there are looking to options, looking to other possibilities, trying, experimenting, watching this webinar to understand a little bit more about Dubsado and what Dubsado can do for your business. And I think for me, the number one very, very top thing for me was the workflow automation. Workflow automation, it transformed my client experience. It made it very unique to my clients, and it saved me a lot of time. And I'm gonna show you how I'm saving a lot of time using Dubsado. And then if you have kids, if you have another business, if you do photography not as a full-time, and it can be a lot of things, or if you just want to be smart about your time. So you're gonna love this. The second thing, it was very important for me, aesthetics. It's very important. As a photographer, I'm driven by aesthetics all the time. I'm always looking for what looks best for my business. And with Dubsado, I was able to make everything into my business look on brand, on point with my brand. And it was very cohesive, and that was key, like colors. And I could not have that done with a lot of other systems out there. And the third and also very important thing was the integrations with my website, integrations with Gmail for me, and especially with my contact forms that I'm gonna show you right now. So it's very interesting because I think I wanted to share how I work with my clients, and how I work Dubsado to make my clients have the best customer experience from me and my business. So I think the first step, and I wanna guide you through that. I think the first step is the inquiry. Most of my inquiries, they come from, I would say, not from my website. A lot of them come from Instagram, and a lot of people, they just reach out, and they reach out through Instagram and they ask questions. And what I usually do, I redirect them to my website. And that's something that it kind of like helps me out, because it makes it, number one, I think it makes look it's more professional. And then if the client goes through your website, you're gonna be able to maximize how you use your workflow. And then step two, once the inquiry is into Dubsado, what happens is that my workflow kind of nourishes, and that specific lead that came to me, and maximize the client experience. So I want to bring you into my website first, and I'm going to show you what's the ideal situation. So people came into my website, and they're looking around, and they're gonna say, okay, oh, Rudney, he works with weddings, work with education and editorials, have a blog here, and blah blah blah, all the good stuff, thank you notes from clients, and freebies and whatever. My Instagram right here, perfect. So after your clients went through your website, where they gonna go? They want to go to your contact page. But then you can see that all the time I'm using call to actions. And I think that one thing it's very important that I love into Dubsado, because I was able to connect all my call to action buttons into Dubsado. That way I have a seamless experience with the client into my workflow. What does that mean? For example, when the client clicks here in my contact, and that's something that I really love, how I was able to use Dubsado in this particular situation. Once you go into my contact form, you're gonna see that I work with different kind of clients, and I offer different services. So one of my main clients, obviously, it's my wedding couples. So once the wedding couples, they come into my website and they want to contact me, so they're gonna fill this form that is designed specifically for them. And a lot of people said, well, but you could just have like one form. No, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 forms. Why do I have 5 forms? People say like, oh, you could just have like a Dropbox menu. I could, but the way that I work, I prefer to work that way, because for each form I have a specific workflow into Dubsado. And what that workflow is going to do, it's going to take care, if you will, take care of that client. How all the emails, all the details into the workflow is designed for that particular client, because I want my clients are luxury, high-end clients, and I want to give them the ultimate, like the most, I don't even have the word, like I want to give them the best experience as possible once they reach out to me. And I can do that using the workflows. So these, for the wedding couples, they have questions that are focused on wedding couples. Then if I work a lot with a lot of planners, if a planner reach out to me instead of the couple, they're gonna fill a different form that are focused on them, like different questions, couple different questions. And the workflow that is triggered in the back end with Dubsado is completely different from the workflow that I have for the wedding couples. So I live in Washington, D.C., and Washington, D.C., it's like many other big cities, very busy city. So we have a lot of, young couples that, they work with different international organizations, with government, and sometimes people come from abroad. They live in different countries. They are here working for the embassies, you know, in a mission or something, and people meet each other and they get to know each other and they get engaged and they get married. And surprisingly, my experience as a wedding photographer here, I get a lot of inquiries for engagement sessions only. And sometimes what they do, they want to take pictures, do engagement here or anniversary sessions, and they get married in the home country. So for that reason, I created a form and a specific workflow to take care of that client that is not gonna book me for a wedding, but they want portrait sessions, they want engagement session, they want anniversary session. So they're gonna go to this form, and this form is connected to another specific workflow. And then also for editorial and brands, brand photography, and I work with small business owners that want to do a rebrand and do different content for the website, social media, and things like that. And also wedding dress designers, you name it. So they're gonna fill this form, and also it's gonna trigger a workflow specifically for them. And also I work, I have a workshop, the film theory workshop, and they're focused on teaching photographers that are interested in learning more about shooting film or photography in general, and also mentoring sessions. So good, so we have that. So now once we get into this part of the workflow, where the workflow takes care of that specific lead that comes into Dubsado through my website. And as I was saying also, the inquiries that I have that comes from Instagram, sometimes I'm able to guide them to reach out, fill the form on my website. But if they don't, or if the client is a referral from a past client or another bride or a mentee or someone, what I'm going to do, I'm going to insert manually that job, that lead into Dubsado. And what I'm going to do later, I'm going to apply that specific workflow to that particular job. So now, and step 3, there is no step 3. That's it. Once the client comes in, for me, the workflow would take care of it, and that's it. So now I want to talk to you about the 5 main features within Dubsado that I can't live without. It's a must have for me, and that's the main reason why I use Dubsado into my business. As I told you, I'm not going to talk about the technicalities of it. I'm going to talk about how those tools, if you will, they benefit me as a wedding photographer, and I think you're gonna love them as well. So I think the first one, it's not in order here, of course. It's just like the top 5. I think the scheduler is a big thing for me. I cannot live without the scheduler. The forms and questionnaires, they are very important, because that's where I'm able to nourish that relationship and create a better client experience with the workflow. Canned emails and embedded forms. The canned emails are just like, I know people say, oh, you could use canned emails with Gmail, whatever, but the way that it works into Dubsado, it's so specific, because I'm able to embed all these forms in my canned emails, and that's gonna be hosted into my client portal, which is also a very good feature into Dubsado. I didn't list here, but it's awesome. Now I'm able to create unique lead captures, like I was showing you, into my contact page, into my website. And then another thing that I think sometimes, like, people, I don't see a lot of people that I know use it a lot, but I think the project and job status, oops, there's an error here. The job status that I have, that Dubsado offers, it's great. And yeah, so let's move into the next step. So unique lead captures, that's what I was telling you. Now we're gonna jump into my Dubsado. I created like a kind of like a generic back end into Dubsado, and right here you're gonna see we're gonna talk about the lead captures. So you see here that I don't have all my workflows here because this is just a generic thing, but so you see like engagement. So once we click here, I have this workflow. It's going to activate different situations into that particular lead. So I have the wedding leads, the wedding clients, and like the post weddings right after the wedding has passed. So, and I have one for general leads, and also I have one, as I said, this is a generic account. So I have one for mentoring, I have one for wedding planners, and I have one for anniversary. So I also have one for mentoring, and just mentoring sessions when people reach out to talk about mentoring sessions and learning more about film or about photography in general. I have another workflow. But then for this particular webinar, we're just gonna talk a little bit about the wedding, the specific ones. So you can see like here, this is the one, the wedding leads in progress is the workflow that I use when I manually input the job into my Dubsado account. And that way I can take care of that particular client differently, in a sense of like it's not going to be triggered automatically because it did not came through my website, but I'm going to be able to apply the workflow into that particular job that I got an email or Instagram inquiry or something like that. So okay, so that's the feature about the unique lead capture. So another thing also, I know sometimes if you don't get what I'm saying, or if you have a question, specific question, you can just type in the chat and I'm gonna be answering your questions at the end. So the next thing, the scheduler. What I love the most about the scheduler is the following. So here, under scheduler, for example, I have a scheduler for chat, and it's awesome because I was seeing, actually, not sure if I should talk about this, but I just saw on the Dubsado Facebook group that Becca was, and Becca could let us know that later. She's doing like some experiments with different integrations with like Zoom, people that use Zoom, who are different platforms for video chat now. We are doing a lot of video chat with potential clients, even like past clients, like inquire about future sessions, having a lot of like planning and meetings, everything through, I use Zoom. Some people, I used to use Skype a lot, but now I'm using Zoom. And I think that like the integration with the video chat and the scheduler in the same place, it's awesome because once I have the client, I'm able to schedule everything through here. Oh, but I can just send, calendar invite through email or something like that. Yes, you could, but what happens here is that if you're using the scheduler into Dubsado is connected with the workflow. And let's say, like happened to me last week I had an engagement session, but something happened and the client has to cancel. So once the client cancels that appointment, automatically the scheduler is connected into my workflow, and then my workflow stops immediately. And once I activate that schedule again, the workflow continues, because otherwise what's going to happen, the workflow is going to continue going, and you're not able to stop. So the person like, oh, I don't know what's going on, what are all those emails that I'm getting, and it's not related to the situation. So with this scheduler working like kind of alongside and hand by hand with my workflow, that's the best thing. And this way, for me, it works perfectly, and I think it's awesome. So, and also like, and obviously I have two different schedule templates. Why? Because one I use for my meetings, and the other one I use to book an engagement session once the client book, if it's just an engagement session or a portrait session, or just a general session lead. And also I can use the same template for a session that is part of a wedding inquiry, because all my wedding packages includes an engagement session, all of them, no exception. So all of them are part of my packages. So within my packages, they will have to select a time and a day, and everything I can set up within my engagement session option. Okay, so going back here, the scheduler is the other one. So the other one is forms and questionnaires. Forms and questionnaires, I just love them. Why I love them? Because it's just like reflects my brand. I think I'm gonna able to show you some. So so I have, let me see, I have like my inquiry questionnaire. So right here, this is the very first questionnaire that once you as a client, you go into my website, you fill the information, and you know, within my workflow that I'm gonna show you a little bit, my workflow very soon, you're gonna receive this questionnaire. So this questionnaire is very simple. It's just like basic information, but as you see, you know, it's my old logo. So, you know, my logo is here, and then I love the possibility of using the smart fields. So it's gonna be the client first name, and you know, the alternate contact first name, the job start date, and all that. So, and then I put a little quote, I'm excited to speak with you about your wedding photography, blah, blah, blah. You can work some wordings here, whatever you want to say, and then you can create your own questions. So now a lot of people use, you know, some PDF or some question, but I think it's not really practical. I love how I can go into this particular into my client's particular project, and everything is there. So this questionnaire is going to be there. So I know the ceremony location, the reception location, and you know, I can ask, are you working with a planner, coordinator for the wedding day? So the questions are here, and then the planner name. And I always ask, how did you find me? Because in the end of the day, I have this information. You're gonna see, let me see if I can mark here. You're gonna see right here, reporting. This is a very cool feature that I use, because there I can find out at the end of the month. Every month I check, and I would say not every month, I would say like every 3 months I check, and you can check all the time, but like I intentionally check to see like where most of my clients are coming from. And they're coming from a website, they're coming from referrals, coming from Instagram, they're coming from whatever. And then once I know that information, I'm able to, let's say if your client's coming more through your website, you want to make sure that you invest into your website. You're like blogging, you were like putting information, you updating galleries, you making your website resourceful. So you want people to continue to go to your website. So this is a very powerful question to me, and for my business, where did you find me? And you know, just simple box, anything else you'd like to share. So that's one form that I love. Let me just close this. And then, so also I love to be able to let me see another form that I can show you guys. So my contracts are here as well. So this one. So this one is very good because I also create favorite vendors. I have all my favorite vendors here. It's like planners, hair and makeup artists, videographers, photo booth, florists, stationery design, accessories, furniture rental, gift boxes, whatever. And then, you know, like again, this is like on brand, and I'm able to design and create, you know, the way that it best works for me and for my brand visually. So this is one more thing. Now, what else I have here? Oh, canned emails. Canned emails is just like, they're just great and I really love them. I'm gonna show you why. Canned emails. Okay, so as you can see here, I have like tons of canned emails. Why? Because I want to make sure that I'm not like typing and retyping and recreating and putting the same information all over and over again. And that, guys, it saves like a ton of time, because you can not only have the canned emails like like very generic information, but you can personalize and customize, and that it changes the client experience. For example, I have, so let me see here one I can show you. Okay, welcome. So this is like a welcome client. I title client number one, and the subject is like, your experience with Rudney Novaes photography is just beginning. This is the subject. So once the client book me and they are already my client, so that's why I name this email client number one, is because it's the first email that you're gonna get as a client once you book me. And then you see that in the body of my email, you see that it said dear client first name and client alternative contact first name. Those are smart fields. The smart fields are going to like be a game changer into your canned emails, because you know, like some people can talk like you know, like dear, you know, Peter and Mary, I'm extremely honored that you have chosen me to document your big day, blah blah blah. And you can also add here Mary, Peter and Mary, blah blah blah. You can put again, and you know, like depends how you talk and your voice. And for this, my copywriter, Lauren, she's awesome, and she went into my Dubsado account and she was like proofreading and make sure that everything is cohesive with my brand and my voice, and you know, it's just like the way that I want it to be. And you can customize and make it the way that you want it to look like. So, and then you see like I organize my canned emails by, you know, you see like appointments. I have a COVID-19 one that I send to all my clients to check up on them. I have client number one. You see like once you become a client, that it goes in order. Client number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I have some other ones here. This is for the engagement session. So all those canned emails, they're created to work alongside with my workflow. And you see like engagement session 1, engagement session 2, 3, 4. And so this is for the invoices. All my invoices are also like connected to Dubsado. And you see like invoice number 1, invoice number 2, invoice number 3. Also those are like leads, you know, lead number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The leads are different than clients. How are the leads different than clients? The leads are like when the inquiry, this is the auto response. So once you, if you go into my website and then you fill up the form right now, whatever form you fill, you're gonna get this email automatically. And my workflow will trigger, and this email is gonna hit your mailbox. So, and it's gonna say, you know, thank you for inquiring with me, and then it's gonna say, dear so and so, thank you for contacting me. I will review an email within 24 hours. In the meantime, I already sent my pricing guide. So I have my pricing collections right here, and it's already into Dubsado. So the person will get this information, this PDF. I like to send my PDF information, and once they get this PDF, what they're gonna find here, they're gonna find information about me, a welcome from me, about me, who I am, the wedding experience, what's my process, what do I offer, my services, my wedding collections, which is what they're looking for, my a la carte options, frequently asked questions, and kind words from past clients, and contact information. So why do I want this to go right away? Because if they, for whatever reason, didn't look into the price options, I want them to know how much they're looking to spend. Why? Because I don't want to waste their time, and I don't want to waste my time if we are not, if you know, I'm below their price point, or if they're like beyond the price point. So it's just like, that's how I prefer to do this, and I think it has been a very good experience, because that way I have better, how do I say, like an ideal client. So I'm start booking the clients that are really a match to me. So that's one thing. I'm gonna save and close this, and then, you know, let's say that after a while, so invoice, let me see which one. Okay, lead. Okay, this is the one. See, this is my other favorite canned email that is also obviously connected to my workflow. Here I kind of like say a little bit something, so excited for engagement, blah blah blah, and then here they're gonna be able to book a free consultation. So they're gonna click, and what's gonna happen, this link is gonna take them right into schedule a video chat with me. And once they select my availability, right now I don't have anything scheduled here, I also put Zoom meeting, and then they're gonna receive another email once they book with the link for the appointment and the time and all the details and so forth. And then and also my wedding questionnaire, the one that I showed you guys, it's gonna be right here. So when I'm ready to talk to them, I have the basic informations. And you know, if they share a little bit of their personal stories, like, you know, the questionnaire, it helps me like to engage with the clients and all that. Okay, so what else? Okay, perfect. So that was the canned emails. So now I just want to show you a little bit about the workflow. And I think I'm gonna do that through, let me see which one I can show you. Wedding lead in progress, this one, or wedding leads. So this is my workflow, and my dog is here snoring. Okay, so the workflow that I have here, so once I get the inquiry, the workflow automatically add a tag called wedding immediately after all previous actions are completed, and then it will send an email, which is the lead number one, the email that I showed you guys, So it's an auto response. That's immediately after the workflow starts, and then you're gonna get the questionnaire, and then there are some steps that I love the option to be able to approve, because sometimes I don't know, you know, the process of it, but this is optional. You can just be automatic, or you can put an option to approve, and that's what I really enjoy about those workflows. So once they're no longer a lead, this workflow will activate, which is the wedding client workflow, and then it's gonna be like a welcome email immediately after they book, because my invoices are connected. Once you pay, it activates the second workflow, so which is the wedding client. So you go from wedding lead, you transition into a wedding client, and then and once the wedding is complete, the wedding day is complete, is the wedding post workflow that's going to be activated in this situation. So I think probably have some questions. If you have some question, again, type into the chat and I'm gonna be able to respond to you. And what else I have here to share? Let me go back to this. Talk about the scheduler, show you about the forms and questionnaires, showed you canned emails, and how am I able to connect them to the forms, my unique lead captures that I use, one lead capture per for kind of service / client that I have, and the project job status. So projects, if you see here, I just have some here in this account that I created to show you guys. You see how I use all those status to categorize, just show here, to categorize all the clients that I have in there. And you have an option of like, for example, for new leads, you have categorized into new leads. You have those that I have to follow up, those that have meeting request, meeting scheduler, proposal send, book, lost, inquiries that I lost. So, and then the jobs here, I created, according to my workflow, scheduling engagement session happening, editing the engagement session, upcoming weddings, cooling and prep, because usually right after the engagement session, I love to send my clients like a little sneak peek, and I know, so every day what I do, I open Dubsado, and that's my first thing in the morning. Some people like go for the news. I go straight to my Dubsado because I wanted to know what's happening, what's going on, what do I have, because I should film and digital. I'm what are the sessions that I'm waiting on film scans, and what are the sessions that I'm editing, digital files based on the film scans, and then gallery send, job complete, and I think that's it. And also right here, as I said, schedule engagement, so all those categories are like reflected up here. And what I love the most is, like, a lot of times we get like leads that end up not being converted into clients. Sometimes I also have canned emails that I reach out. Go back here to my canned emails. So lead inquiry. So this one, for example, lead number 3, inquiry follow up. So 3 days later after I reply, if the clients haven't responded, And then I send another email, do you have any question I can answer for you? And then I say, dear so and so, it goes up. And this, guys, this is like all automatic. This is like happening while I taking care of the kids, or focusing on connecting with vendors and planners and things like that. And I think I cover most of the things that I wanted to share. I wanted to make this short and sweet. And I think forms and questions, I think I cover everything I planned. Also, if you're interested into getting to Dubsado, he is my 20% off. You can just, I'm gonna put this link into the chat, and then you can connect. You're gonna get 20% off into Dubsado with this link. And if you have any question, you can always reach out to me. My email is hello@rudneynovaes.com, and my website rudneynovaes.com. You can check it out. Also my Instagram, same thing, Rudney Novaes. You can send me a message on Instagram, send me an email, call, whatever you prefer. And thank you so much again, guys. I'm gonna be a little while after this end to answer any questions you may have. And thank you back again. Thank you, guys in Dubsado. As I said, customer support, and it's amazing. They have so many trainings, and that's why I didn't want to get into any like technicalities of Dubsado, because they have an amazing team to do so. But that's my experience using Dubsado, and I hope you guys enjoy. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you so much.